just woke up from sleeping where I could hear, and this has happened before, Keenan Hardy, like excited, very excited, like excited. He's not ever excited unless I'm sleeping. This, I'm going in the right direction, yo. Especially with this court case. Especially with this court case. I didn't see this like I saw this yesterday. Okay. Very excited. What is there to be excited about? This motherfucker, I forgot, loves video games. I definitely have to do something. This is weird. Not only are they excited, you have Dorothy Spears walking around here talking about I'm being in it with Jamidi, Shakita. You bitch, if you don't get your crippled Mrs. Chicken Purdue looking ass the fuck out of here, I was thinking about that while I was sitting on the toilet after I just got up. And my intuition said, let people think what they want to think. That's true, but bitch, I'm addressing you today. You are not my mother in law. Fuck you and fuck your son. Fuck you, fuck your son, fuck your family, and fuck Jamidi. And go read a book, bitch. And that is the last time I'm going to address your sorry, worthless, irrelevant, non essential ass. Period. Now, I was learning how to refute or rebut, no, 12 presumptions of law. And I'm like, damn, if I go to court and how to do a motion to dismiss, and if that don't work and I gotta go to court and I gotta do all these objections, and do all these things, and they, ask me certain questions and they have certain things on, certain, I don't know what they have, in evidence. And I'm like, maybe I don't want to do that. Yes, I do want to do that. Yes, I do want to do that. Yes, I do. Because the dream that I had last night, I was pulling my daughter Misa out of a fire. Now I'm gonna. I should have started this yesterday, and the day before that, she was being molested on the top of a bunk bed. And the day before and before that, when I was in jail, she got sodomized, and Dominique Wilson was standing there. And after she got sodomized, and she was looking like this with her head on the pillow, like in disbelief, because she's never been abused and never been any type of situation where she felt threatened, because she's always been in safety around her mother and nurtured and coddled. So that would be a shock. Everything she would be going through would be her world flipped upside down would be a shock. And as she was laying there with her head like this on the pillow, James Jenkins snatched her birth certificate and walked away. Now that is a gory scene. And imagine that replaying in your mind. Dominique Sinclair, Keenan Hardy, Dorothy Spears, and the rest of these people are excited looking at people fight for survival in their life while they have cloned and have a replacement, and they're laughing, thinking this is funny. This is public. This is a public concern. I want access to my real daughter's eyes, and I want Dominique Sinclair and James sued. So I got to figure out, there is definitely a way to petition the government, the FOIA, Public public security, Department of Justice, someone, I want access to my daughter's eyes right now. And everybody else is able to view and see what I can't see. That's a problem. And my daughter's in danger. Fighting for survival while people are playing, you know, her life as a sport, and this is funny to people. How are people allowed? They could say, well, she could. There's a camera in her eye, and we want access to it because this is a terrorist threat. Now these people are treasonous. Spread this video everywhere. These people are treasonous. Oh, this is a public concern. We got to see what she sees because she's a competitor, and everybody sees what we're doing. Blah blah blah. But you're doing this to my child, so why? I like to see what my kid is going through. Because if my kid is going through some shit, wherever the fuck my kid is, I'm following her there. So there's a camera in my eye, or there's a what do you call it? A implant in my eye, and I'm not taking this shit out. I want access to it. This is my body. And randomly, like 2 or 3 days ago, I'm sitting here studying, and I just randomly came up with the word procurement. Procurement. What the fuck is a procurement? That's not even in my vocabulary. And that means to get access of a government document. The hallways are more excited and more filled with life when I'm sleeping and dreaming. And these people don't even sleep or dream. These people are get excited and charged up through the pineal gland when the human is sleeping. There's a problem with this. I'm telling you, we need full disclosure. The missing kids that are being taken and harvested by these things that are walking around here proclaiming to be humans, and they're not. And they get upset and angry because they want you to go to sleep all day because they love the loosh. It's the loose, you guys, the emotions that you feel when you're sleeping. Because please take note of this. These things cannot feel. They cannot feel. So when you're sleeping, they're feeding off any and every emotion that you have. And every emotion that I had when I was just sleeping was negative, demonic. And Keenan Hardy, I could hear him. It's a drug to them. It's a drug. Going to a 9 to 5, walking around outside to them is like acting. Feeding off the human being's emotions when they're sleeping, dreaming about sex, dreaming about being scared, dreaming about laughing, dreaming about loving. That's the most exciting part of their life, their little tiny life existence. These pieces of shit are worthless. They should not even be in society out there. These motherfuckers are purely non essential. I saw a video yesterday last night scanning through my news feed on Facebook. And there was a guy who, there was a channel that was called Something Would You Believe Something. And the guy was like, he lived in a building where there were supposed to be at least 500 or 80 apartments. He came out the house one day, and there was Chinese menus on everybody's door on his floor, right? He went back in the house, and he didn't come outside for about one day, and he noticed that everybody's Chinese thing was menu was on the door, And then he stayed in the house for a couple more days and realized that the menus were still there. That means that nobody opened the door. He went downstairs in the garage and saw dust on everybody's door. He went outside and he noticed that when he went outside, the place where he went outside, right outside his apartment, were what do you call were restaurants, and there was only one guy sitting in each restaurant table, and they all were saying the same thing. These were NPCs, machines. At first, I didn't know what to conclude, and I said, well, that's lucky for him because they're not trying to interact with him. They're just there filling up the space. These NPCs that are in this building are trying to interact with me, are invasively scanning my brain, playing with my body. These NPCs who are not even human, all right, and don't have a role in life. These are non-player characters, are off the chain and have given themselves parts. Matrix shattered. I did not see or perceive the way that I was perceiving things as I'm perceiving them today. And I felt bad. I was sitting here eating pizza, watching a movie, um, and I felt bad because I didn't study. But me scrolling down YouTube and Facebook and watching these videos and gaining this different perspective was exactly what I needed because I was about to go back to sleep, probably apply for some jobs, watch a movie, God knows, but I needed to understand, and that way I didn't start arguing with the synthetic telepathy from Londi, whose voice sounds like when she's out there walking around, girl, I could see my third eye is so open concerning this being who is not a human that she couldn't convince me that she was anything else. And I don't even have an argument for them. Like, I would be exhausted by arguing and saying things and, proving my point. I don't even have the to do that because they are not even. And truly, I am the main character of this set. They aren't real, whether they're conscious or not. Remember, they live in their own little world. They have their own little belief system. They have their way of doing things. We're not a part of their world. They're like props on a play on a stage. They're moving about in back of us, around us. We are not to be interacting with the majority of them. They don't matter. And this is a concept and a belief system that I have been introduced to long before, over time, a lot of times. But today I'm finally grasping it. And I think since my perception of reality is so valid, the more and more that I gain, that I accept this truth, my reality probably will change and my outcome and my circumstances as well. And then I probably will be able to draw into those that I need to find who are alive and human and not a background person, which Dolores Cannon of the convoluted universe talks about. She was sitting on stage and she said, well, this place that I'm doing this here didn't exist until I booked this event. I go to an airport and I see so many people on the set, and I'm like, wow, I created so many people to be here. So, my daughter, going through what she is a public safety concern. So I'm thinking, who the hell do I write? Who the hell do I petition? I need access to my daughter. That's my property. And I'm not interested in playing any competitions between with Dominique Sinclair and James Jenkins on their fake daughter. I want my daughter. The fuck told you to do that to my fucking property? So me going into court, objecting everything, doing this, going through this, not giving the court jurisdiction, going through this whole ordeal of trying to get them to prove whatever I want access. What are you going to put on the records, the statements, all of that shit? The direction I'm going is totally right. It's a very good idea. I'm going to set them up in a trap. Give me access to my daughter's eyes now. I need some assistance. If anyone is interested in helping me with this situation, I need a witness. I need at least two people who know exactly what's going on. I don't care your ethnicity, all right? Particularly someone Caucasian, please. We already know. We already played. We already played. The judge is going to say, yes, good. Now I want access to my daughter's eyes because I'm not playing. This is a public safety concern.